Hey everyone, welcome back. It is Icon. Thank you so much for checking out another episode of Esports Analysis. We are on board with Envoy as we hop back into some scrim analysis here. Chicago is going to battle against the New York Subliners, so these are some really good reps for them after coming back from what you might call a little bit of a disappointing finish at CDL Toronto. A couple things about this one. This is their first scrim, so it's not the sharpest we have ever seen them look, but that is to be expected. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that over the course of the 5 hardpoint matches, they ended up going 1-4. So they won the Azir Cave, which is a map that they've been playing fairly well on post the new AR meta, the 3 AR meta that has changed about a few weeks ago. The Hackney, the Gun Runner, so the one that we're watching here, the Ramaza, and the St. Petrograd, they ended up losing all of those. So I was going back and forth between uploading one that they lost and one that they ended up winning in Azir Cave. And a lot of people in my comments recently wanted to break down a map or two where they didn't actually win. So that is what we are going to be doing in this one. I will say, if you notice down in the bottom left-hand corner, P1 is just coming to a close and Chicago is down 53-0. So if you're Chicago, you did get that beneficial spawn to lock down P2 as it rotates that way, but you absolutely have to get into P1. You have to contest, because if you give up 53 points inside of P1 and you end up getting 50 points inside of P2, then all of that was for nothing, right? You have to take advantage of the fact that you got the dominant spawn to start off this map. And right now, P2 is one that if everybody on the enemy team just floods one side of the map, it really does become easy to break and contest. So as you can see right now, there are 14 seconds left in P2. It's about to rotate over to P3. And this is just a bad start, right? And a lot of it comes from, again, really working towards setting up spawns for P2 so that they can maximize the amount of time they get in P2. And then finally, when that happened, they ended up getting contested. New York broke in. They got all the time in P1, and now their backs are against the ropes early on here. But the best thing about scrims is that we can go ahead and we can listen in. I'm still going to pause the video. We're going to talk through and break down the most important things that I notice along the way. But without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's turn up the team comms and hear exactly what Chicago is talking about as we're about to rotate from P3 to P4.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold. I'm holding cross. I'm holding cross. You out? Two more, Alec. Good job.
Half wall.
Half wall flanking quick.
He's hitting ramp right away.
Half wall again. He's front green too. Front green.
So I do want to break this down. I'm going to bring up the minimap for the very first time in this one, and there is something that I want to break down because I feel like there isn't much of a focus put on this. So Chicago after P2 was able to rotate back to P5 and earn these back warehouse spawns. Perfect, exactly what you want to do. You can rotate through boxes and get inside of P3, but what you saw Envoy and Arcides, they both got a kill here in the last set of spawns. They just came through ADOM right here, and they're able to get kills in this cross right here. So essentially what that does is, as New York is spawning over here towards BDOM and they try to get in, you can shoot them in the side. You can end up getting those kills, which then gives your teammates time to get inside of the P3 hardpoint and start earning time. The counter to that, and you did see that a little bit actually on screen right here, you can see Zuma kind of cutting off that flank route right there. All they have to do is just push through pipes, push through you, and get to half wall, or they can even go through green. And once you get into here, now they can counter that push from you. So this is just kind of how all of this develops over the course of that P3 hardpoint. But let's get back in and let's see what happens moving forward here.
Bottom green. Got bottom green.
Look at Lamar old, right? Lamar old.
Front green, one shot. Front green, one shot.
Fucking naded, man.
Yo, 8 on Zuma. Dead.
Nice. I naded old.
Kind of nade old.
Yep.
Half wall.
Yo, silo down. First guy, push up for us.
Push up for us. I'm dead, guys. Fuck, dude.
Get it back up.
Make sure we're going for us. He went towards wheel. Good win. I'll look. No, I'll save him.
Okay, I'm looking left.
I'm flashing rock.
Look left off spawn.
I'll touch over your rock. Yo, I hit him with a nade.
Bathroom villain.
I got one.
He's pushing out from bathrooms.
I'm looking for bathrooms.
He's up ping, he's up ping.
Alright.
Okay.
They smoked hill.
Nothing's dead.
There's 2 on time. 2 on time.
Yeah, I'm just holding. I'm hoping open. Give me with the nade. I'm just holding. I got hit by a nade.
Good tracks.
They pushed out, I think.
No, he didn't go open.
2 more on time. 2 more there.
Oh, he can't
2
fucking
open
see.
and 1 left.
Hold it left, guys.
One shot, dude.
Time Donnie.
One.
And hey, there's one.
One
Middle's
shot.
open.
One more open. One more open. Open behind you. Nice try. Soccer.
Flip.
Thank God out, bro.
Yeah.
Full flip. All good. Let's make it.
I think he hit through forest or something. Or inner. I don't know.
Max head charging off.
So right there, they ended up getting flipped out, and they're trying to decide, they're trying to think through what could have possibly happened. It looked like as they were inside of P4, so Envoy was coming up off of spawn, we saw him work back towards P4 trying to get in, and while he was doing that, I did see somebody watching the top side of the map. The only thing that could have happened is the middle was open, so as New York is coming up off of spawn, obviously they're trying to rotate in towards P4, but we've seen this a couple times. We've even seen people like Pristini and Envoy has done this in the past. If you just hit mid and there's nobody there, you can jump over half wall, get through boxes, and now all of a sudden, if you get to the back of P5, you can immediately start to flip Chicago out, right? As Chicago gets kills inside of P4, those New York players that are coming up off of spawn would then get these back P5 spawns, and now they have the advantage going into P5. So they had the top lockdown, they had the bottom lockdown, but to me it looked like they left the middle of the map open, and that's how New York was able to get through there.
Yeah, I was hoping open. All right, let's go right. People go right. I'm gonna flash up left.
I'm already left.
Everyone go right. Everyone go right. Okay.
Oh, he's already back left. I'll go right off spawn.
Not CP3.
Right, let you.
He's just holding left. He's just holding.
I spawn here?
Weak back left.
Yeah, maybe back at hill. They have trophies. They have trophies boxes.
He's back looking. Back ledge.
Back right.
My spawn behind you guys. Yo, he's not forest. Not forest, guys. All fucking P3. All
Middle of the
P3.
hill. Middle of the hill.
Kill.
Middle of the hill.
P3 spawns. Oh fuck, dude.
Doggy dead one more time.
I got native sets. I'm in fucking doggy.
I got him. One more
One more time.
I'm trying to pinch
Two more
boxes.
time, guys.
2 boxes.
Someone's gotta look at the fucking.
Right at the start of P5 there, you heard Arsity say, let's go right. So as they left P4, you heard him say over and over again, let's go right, let's go right. And I do like that call because if you're getting that B-Dom spawn, it's much easier to get into P5 from the top side of the map, right? It's, first of all, it's a lot of close quarter engagements, but once you get inside of boxes, it really is a much easier way. You're very isolated in the route that you're taking into P5, whereas if you try to hit through forest, first of all, in this AR meta, ARs could just be set up on that lane, and as they peek out, they could gun you as you're trying to run in. And then once you get to ADOM, again, that entire place is super open. So I like the call there to hit the right side of the map. They just weren't successful at getting the kills inside the hard point once they were able to break in.
He's a free kill hill.
Probably push bathrooms.
I think he went wrong.
And one more. Dirt ramp.
Yo, one right dead, right dead.
Nice, good one on right.
Yeah, look my short, please.
Yeah, I am.
You my short?
Short.
And lockers.
They're hitting right heavy. They're hitting right
What
heavy.
the fuck am I stuck on? One's front door, Tommy.
Right.
And if we're just kind of going through the first set of rotations here, Chicago's down by 100 points. How did they get to where they are? In P1, they were trying really hard to hold down these spawns for P2. They ended up giving up 50-plus points inside of P1. As it rotated to P2, that's when they got contested, and they ended up basically splitting that time. Same thing happened with P3. They were set up there first. They got a little bit more time than New York, but it wasn't an all 45 or all 50 points there. They really did end up getting mostly countered. For P4, that's when they had the spawns for P5. When it went to P4, they weren't quite able to get in and contest, and then right towards the end they got flipped out and they ended up losing P5 as well. So if you're talking about the first 5 hard points in the first set of rotations, there's not really anything that really went Chicago's way. It looks like so far in the second set of rotations they're doing a better job of holding down P2 while being able to contest inside of P1. They are going to give up these last 15 seconds here. Let's see if they can win rotations and slowly but surely start to crawl their way back into this matchup.
We're spawning front, guys.
There's another fork on me.
We're spawning crates, guys.
He could be you. He could be all over you.
He's one ramp. 2 water ramp.
They just hold you.
One's in you. One is in you.
And just right there, just to make sure that we're explaining everything that's going on here, as New York is leaving P2, you saw Envoy try to get a couple kills down here towards the bottom of the map as New York was rotating out. He was able to get 1 or 2, but when he came up off of spawns, he spawned up here on the top side of the map. So again, as this is about to rotate to P3, look to New York to push the backside of P5. As they get inside of P5, then they can win these spawns and start working through boxes back to P3. They can contest in P4 and then potentially win the game when it gets to P5 if it even gets that far. Again, New York is by far the better team throughout this entire map of being the team that's locking down the spawns and rotating properly.
They're making pitches
I
right here.
spawn lockers.
Hitting right
Yeah,
there.
just play tight.
You, bro.
I'm holding you.
Pushing you right now, Tommy.
Then stay down on time if you can.
Try to get you.
He's 8 on 2, 8 on 2. He's gonna be close.
I'm looking at your
Close
guys'
dead.
ramp. I'm looking at your guys' ramp, alright?
Right?
Make sure you don't get long flank, Preston.
I'm laying him.
I don't see anything middle.
Any ramp dead.
Ramp dead.
Full pitch.
I had to pitch. Wait, what the fuck?
Ramp dead.
Wasn't that
He
4?
must just got timing.
Yeah.
I need a boxes for you.
I spawned here, Where good.
Come on,
Weak
deeper now.
boxes, weak and boxes.
Oh, you killed the one. Okay, my bad.
There's 2 here. Front
Go
door on
back
me.
to time.
Look at boxes. I'm
Another one here. Another one here. I'm laying down.
I'm helping you, Doe.
Flashing in front.
He's 8 on 2. 8 on 2.
So hard, dude.
8 on, push you in green. Dead.
Green chasing, good job. Top forest.
What's that new? Wait, yeah.
Reloading.
Lamar's
that's
top
him,
forest.
that's him.
He's back right.
Lay down 8 round.
Back right old. There's 2 at old. 2 at old.
I need in front.
They're all spawning there actually. They're all
Mox
spawning.
back. Mox
staying alive.
back.
This is a hill that teams have gotten really good at of getting control of P3, pushing forward into boxes and at ADOM, and just soaking up those kills. It really is a couple super hard choke points for that team to make it through, and they just went ahead and they flipped spawns for P5. So there is a route here for a comeback. Let's see if they can execute as this moves along.
Hold, we
flipped,
play
they
brothers,
flipped.
play brothers.
Yeah, we'll just flip this.
Just like that, they get flipped out.
I'm nading over, we're good.
Third ramp, catch that. Wheel on me.
I don't see anything close.
He's top crates and one's on time.
One
Low
Top crates
dead.
down.
I know. I'm just staying
Right
alive.
self.
I'm
Yeah,
in the
good
back
job.
now.
Hang on.
We need to try to get
He can
some.
chow
One's
me.
from bathrooms,
He got me
In
on time.
bathrooms, Tom.
There's 2 there. 2
Back
there.
bathrooms.
Absolutely.
And another one from
I
bathrooms.
flipped
another
again.
one
Flipped
from
again. Oh, we gotta get this time
bathrooms.
though.
We gotta
We
go.
flip, but
Yeah, and again,
gonna get
they
that.
did a nice job there of flipping, but if there was just a little bit more time, then they could work the comeback. But they flipped, they sent that resource around as they were able to flip. It just wasn't enough time for them to get back inside of the P4 hardpoint. So not the best map overall that you'll see from Chicago. They really only did a good job on P3, second set of rotations. As we look at the overall kills here, Envoy was 27 and 29, which led his team, but Formal -5, Scump was even, Arcity's -5, and Pristini -3. So the kills didn't quite go their way. The map rotations really didn't go their way, but it is only the first day back. So hopefully over the next 3 or 4 weeks, they can get their stuff together and start to perform as Champs approaches us. So if you guys are new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I put out brand new videos like this every single day. Any comments on this one, put it down below. Leave a like, it helps out the channel. Thank you guys so much. I will see you in tomorrow's upload.